Hey, it's Yay for Yarn, and today I'm going to show you how to knit a Panda Earwarmer on your Addi Express Pro and Addi Express King size knitting machines. So let's get started. So here's everything you're going to need to make this project. Here I have made a regular earwarmer headband. If you want to learn how to do that, you can go and check out my video on that. I will put a link. This is just made out of solid white yarn, and this is not the type where you knit a tube on the Addi Pro and attach the ends together, but if you don't have the Addi King, you could do that if you wanted to. This is my version of an earwarmer headband made on the Addi King, where it is knit this way and then grafted together. So there's the earwarmer headband part. Then you're going to need 2 flat half circles, which I just made a video on that. I will link to that as well. 2 flat half circles on the Addi Pro, and these are black. And then you're going to need 2 egg-shaped pieces of felt, kind of an oval but tapered at one end, and 2 small buttons. These are about 1/2 to 5/8 of an inch in diameter. So the first thing we're going to do is attach the ears. So what I've got here is when you knit a flat half circle, you end up with 2 tails once you're finished. There's a shorter one and a longer one. I'm going to use the longer one. So I'm going to take the shorter one and slip it into the center, in between the 2 layers of the flat half circle. And cut off the extra. And then I'm going to attach it with the longer tail. So what you want to do is thread that tail into your yarn needle, and you want to lay your headband out flat on your work surface or on your lap, and you want it to be flat and rectangular, not twisted or anything, to make sure that when you attach your elements here that they're not going to be crooked or whatever. So what we want to do is we want to put this on about a 45-degree angle. You want the tip of the one corner on this side touching the top edge and the other corner touching this side edge over here. So once you've got it positioned, then you can pick it up, pinch it flat, and start attaching it to your headband. And another thing you might want to do is try to only stitch through the top layer of the white so that it doesn't show up on the back side, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. So I'm just taking little whip stitches and stitching this down to my headband, like so. And you're just going to stitch it all the way across. You still want to lay it down every now and then and check it, just to make sure that it is not getting, twisted in how you're placing it, so that you want to keep laying it down and checking it and make sure that it's still going to line up where you want it. So another thing you want to keep in mind is that you don't want to pull this center area close to the cinched part too far, because then you're going to have a little indentation in the cinched part. You want to try to keep it straight across this edge. So now I am pretty much to the corner. So I'm just going to go through that very corner right there. And then I'm going to lay it flat, make sure that it looks the way I want it to. Now if you want to, you can go back here and tack this back side of the ear to the headband, but as long as it just lays down when you attach it, that's not exactly necessary. So you don't have to do that if you don't want to. So I'm just going to take a knot right here at the corner. And I'm going to take the yarn that's left and slip it in between the layers of the ear. And then I'm just going to cut the extra. So there's the first ear, and it's going to sit like that, and it kind of sticks up a little bit, so it's a little bit three-dimensional. And so now I'm going to attach the other one the exact same way. I'm just going to do the same thing on the other side. So now I have a length of sewing thread on a sewing needle, a hand sewing needle, and I have it doubled. I've waxed it, and I'm going to make a knot in the end. And what we're going to do is we're going to take our little oval shaped pieces of felt, and we're going to position them just where we want them to be. And we're also going to sew some little buttons on there. But first we're going to go ahead and attach the buttons to the felt. So position it how you want on your ear warmer so you can see how it's going to look. Then you're going to carefully pick it up and stitch the button down with that sewing thread. My button has 2 holes, but if yours has 4 holes, then go ahead and go through all 4. Stitch them down however you like, whether you like to go across 2 sets of holes, or if you like to crisscross your threads and make an X. Doesn't really matter, just whichever you prefer. So once your button is attached, go ahead and tie a knot. And leave a little bit of a tail, but don't cut it like, you know, directly up against the surface of the fabric. Leave maybe a 1/4 inch of thread. Just make sure it doesn't come undone. And then you want to make sure that your other button matches. It's in the same exact position. So once you've positioned it, carefully pick the other one up and stitch it down as well. Alright, now you're going to tie off on this one. And once you've got both of your buttons sewn on, then we can attach the felt to the headband. So position them how you like. Make sure that they're evenly spaced. They're, you know, one's not like twisted or crooked or whatever. And once you've got it positioned, you're going to stitch it down to the ear warmer. Now, one thing about stitching through knitting with sewing thread is that you can't just tie a knot and come up from the back, because the knot will go right through the fabric. So what I'm going to do is, once I've got it positioned, I'm going to pick one of them up, and I'm going to, instead of tying a knot, I'm just going to come up through the fabric and leave a tail. And then when I get back around, then I will tie the ends together. So I'm just going to attach this with a running stitch, not taking super short stitches, but not super long ones either. And I'm going about 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the felt. But that's just my preference. If you like a whip stitch, go ahead and use a whip stitch. If you want to stitch this down with embroidery floss, then go ahead. I'm just going to stitch this down with a running stitch all the way around. Alright, so I'm all the way back around to where I started. It is stitched down securely with my running stitch. So now I'm going to take the thread that's on my needle and the thread tail that I originally left and tie them together in a double knot. or a triple knot if you prefer. Then I'm going to slide those threads underneath the knitting, both layers of knitting, so that they are between the felt and the outer layer of the knitting. And cut it. If you want, you can use a crochet hook to do the second one, like so. So there's the one, and I'm going to attach the other one in the same manner, just making sure that it's positioned just like the other one, and they're both even. I'm going to attach the other one in the same way, and I'll show you what it looks like. So now that you have all your pieces sewn on, you now have a cute little panda ear warmer made on your Addi Knitting Machine. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you make this project, let me know how it turns out for you in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, making sure you click the little bell next to the subscribe button to be notified of new videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.